Good morning and good evening, guys. So in previous lecture, we have discussed about how ADAC commands does work and also how Ansible.cfg file does work. And apart from that, we have seen little bit about inventory, nothing but using default inventory file and also creating our own inventory file. All right. So we can change our inventory file by changing explicitly specifying the minus option while executing our Ansible command, and also by updating ansible.cfg file to the latest file. So you know that. In today's class, we are going to see how can we write our first Ansible playbook. There is a few more stuff we should know about inventory, but going forward, whenever we are doing exercises, we will come to know how we can update our inventory file. Now let's discuss quickly about modules. A module is a reusable standalone script that Ansible runs on your behalf either locally or remotely. So a module is a script, okay, which contains a code which can do certain task. That task it will do at behalf of yourself either in locally or remotely. Remotely nothing but we have the managed servers remotely. On those managed systems, this module works. Next, modules interact with your local mission, an API, or a remote system to perform specific tasks. Okay, so even if you want to do some installation or some activity on your local system, nothing but Ansible control node or on the remote system, it works. Whenever I say specific activities, those activities like creating users, we tried this activity, and installing packages, we tried this. Updating configuration, maybe we haven't tried it. Spinning up instances, still we haven't tried this one. Like this, there are various uh, modules are there which can able to fulfill this kind of tasks. Next, modules are the programs that perform the actual work of the task of a play. So usually in a playbook, I mean to say in a task or play, a play is sorry, playbook is collection of plays. Okay, so we have multiple plays. Each play does do some activity. So in a play, we are going to call a module. Ansible Ansible ships with thousands of modules. Okay, whenever we install Ansible, by default, it is coming with thousands of modules. Okay, if we want to do some activity where you could not able to find any module, then you may need to develop your own module. Okay, so with that, we are going to use these modules in our playbooks. Before writing playbook, let's once again quickly execute the ADAC commands, okay, for installing packages or creating users. I have logged into my Ansible system. This is control node, and whatever having solarized dark, those are managed systems. Okay, this is Tomcat server, and this one is RHEL server. Okay, so let's execute a command called Ansible all -m ping. I just want to check which host city is reaching at this moment. Okay, I think it defined to the default host, and I can list out by using. So this is the command Ansible all --list hosts. So what does it do? At this moment, for which inventory file it is mapping or it is redirecting, that inventory hosts it is going to display. So it is mapping to the file called host, okay, which is available under /etc Ansible hosts. And here we have three systems. So it is communicating that system. Now let's quickly execute a user creation module. Ansible all -m module name is user, and assume that you don't know which attributes to pass. It's quite simple. Okay, it's quite simple. Just go here and search for user module Ansible. It gives the information, okay, which fields are required to execute a command or what could be the necessary parameters. So you can check it out and you can give that one. If you scroll down, you can see here name is required for the user module. So we should provide the name. So name of the user to create or remove or modify. Okay. So how do you specify name? We are going to see this one in the playbooks, but name equal to whatever name you want to create. Okay. Same thing I'm going to execute. Name is equal to John. Okay. So I'm creating a user called John. At this moment, if I go and check for the user called John in the target system, okay, you don't have a user called John. Last user created by our Ansible, the name is Modi. Here also. All right. So here developer 2. Okay, I was doing some testing during the weekend. Okay, that's okay. So developer 2 is the user. Now let's execute this command and we should become a root. So anyway it is failing. Now I'm giving -b option so that become a root and create user on the target system. All right, now you can see if I do the same command, this time user called John is there and user called John over here as well. Clear? So this is how we can create user by using the module. Here user is a module. User is a module. So like that we are going to use modules. And one more module I'm going to use, that is M module. M minus a, okay, name is equal to tree. Okay, for M module also there is a name field. So tree is the software. If we execute tree command, it is going to display the files like this structure. So Tomcat server already there is a tree, and let me see whether here we have tree or not. Yes, in the both the systems we have tree. Let's use another one, telnet. Okay, so telnet, you can see here command not found, as well as here also. Okay, command not found. So we are installing telnet. Telnet is a protocol kind of SSH, but we don't use nowadays. It is not much secure, but for few reasons we may use it. Something like whether ports are opened or not, to know such kind of things we use the telnet. Now you can see here telnet. You you could able to log into telnet. Quit. Here also telnet. Okay, so this is how we can able to install packages by using the modules. Now we'll see how we can write our first Ansible playbook. Usually, okay, just for a clear idea, we don't use ADA commands much. Whatever commands we are executing, those kind of commands we rarely use. Most of the cases, all the activities runs through Ansible playbook. All the activities runs through playbook. Now we'll see how can we create a Ansible playbook and what is Ansible playbook. Okay, so Ansible playbook. A playbook is a text file written in YAML format and is normally saved it as a .yml. Okay, so it is a text file which is written in YAML format. Okay, YAML format is quite simple, and we save the file name it as a YML, .yml or .yaml. Next rule is the playbook begins with a line consisting of the three dashes as a start of the document marker. So the file Ansible Playbook, whenever we are writing, it starts with 3 dashes. Okay, we just need to specify 3 dashes. If we specify 3 dashes, it means that it is a YAML format. Next, an item in a YAML list starts with a single dash followed by a space. So whenever we are listing out our items nothing but either tasks or any new item. Okay, you will come to know while writing Ansible Playbook. Okay, so it starts with a single dash, and after that it should have a space. Okay, I'm talking about the syntax. This is how the syntax looks like. Next, hosts and tasks are mandatory items in a playbook. Whenever we are executing Ansible ADAC commands, if you see, without modules or hosts, we cannot able to execute our ADAC command. Either we are using all Ansible all nothing but here hosts information -m ping. Ping is a module. So these two are the mandatory fields in a playbook. If you are writing your playbook without this, it doesn't work. Next, the playbook primarily use indentation with space characters to indicate the structure of its data. So the major uh, syntax in YAML format is just spaces. We need to give appropriate spaces, okay, so that it can able to understand that, okay, what is the task and what is the play. Okay, so we need to give the appropriate indentation. Indentation nothing but the spaces what we give. Next, modules are used to perform tasks. So whenever we want to create a task, we should use the modules. Next, comments starts with hash. Nothing but if we want to do the comments, we need to start with hash. Next, let's convert our Ansible command to a Ansible playbook. Okay, so this is the Ansible playbook which we just executed, right? Ansible all -m user -a name is equal to John -b. Now I would like to convert this one into a Ansible playbook. Why? Because I may want to create or execute this Ansible playbook regularly or quite frequently. Because I might be deleting John user or I might be recreating it. Okay, whatever reason, first thing, let's convert this one into a Ansible playbook because I don't want to execute it as a Ansible ADAC command. So if we convert, okay, just to follow the structure. So now I need to create a file, right? So file name I'm giving create underscore user dot YML. Okay, so this is a YML format, but it is not mandatory. Okay, it is a just to identify the syntax, either YML or YAML we are going to give. Okay, next thing is the file starts with the 3 dashes, right? Within the file, it starts with 3 dashes. So this is the file. Next, what is the next one? Hosts and tasks are mandatory items in the playbook. Hosts and tasks are mandatory items in the playbook. And before that one, you can see here, an item in a YAML list starts with the single dash followed by a space. Okay, this is a item. Even hosts is a item, tasks is a item. Okay, you will come to know. So minus space. Okay, minus space, hosts is equal to all. Next, tasks. Okay, so tasks is a again one more what I can say item. Okay, one more item, but under tasks we are going to see. Mhm. Now under tasks, task is a activity which we are doing, right? You can see here. So what is the task we are doing? We are doing a task called user ID creation. So task is user. Okay, this is the module colon what is you are doing with that module, name is equal to John. Under tasks again we will have item. Okay, so hosts and tasks belongs to the same items, same kind of items. Okay, Same kind of items whenever we are talking. So first item will get minus and subsequent items doesn't get minus. Okay, please remember, first item will get minus and subsequent items doesn't get minus if those all are belongs to the same items. And the next kind of items, again it starts with minus. Okay, these all are what I can say header items we call. Hosts, tasks become true, all this we call it as a header items. These are tasks or plays I can say. Okay, this is a play, that is user, we are creating a user called John, that's why minus user name is equal to John, we need to specify. So it means that we have converted all this one except minus b. Now we need to give the we need to become a root user, right, to create this user. So then we need to give the become true. Okay, become true, nothing but I am becoming a root user on the while executing this particular task. Now you can see the indentation. First it starts with minus hosts, and these three belongs to the same items, that's the reason you can see the indentation and where it starts. You should not start b before to h. Okay, these three belongs to the same, so alignment should be the same. And this user can start somewhere inside also, but it should not, this minus should not come out of t, because this user is a part of what I can say sub item in the task. This user is a sub item in the task. Okay, this is how we can write a playbook. Now what we are going to do, same whatever adapt command we have executed will convert into a Ansible playbook and will execute it. Clear? So this is my Ansible server, pwd. I'm in my home directory. Okay, so let's create a directory called playbooks so that I can keep all my directories inside the playbook. Mkdir playbooks, go inside to playbooks. Here we are going to create a file called create user, right? So vi, or I'm going to use VIM create underscore user dot yml. Okay, so first thing is it starts with the three minuses, so three minuses. Next thing is we need to give the item with single dash space, then your item name. What is our items we would like to display? We need to give the hosts, right? I told you host is a mandatory field. Without this you cannot able to execute your Ansible playbook. And VIM can able to identify the syntax what you are doing. That's the reason it's whenever I press enter, you can see here it has given the spaces. Okay, so now I am going to execute this as a root user, so true become true we need to give. Next thing, we need to give the tasks. Okay, tasks. So whenever we are giving tasks, we don't have directly a value to the task. We need to give the tasks with modules. Tasks it is, not task. Tasks. Yes. Okay. So whenever we give tasks, we need to, okay, start from here. Okay. So under tasks, again, we have sub items. So that's the reason it starts with minus and name, sorry, module name is user, right? So user module, under user module, we are creating a user called John. User, sorry, name is equal to John. Okay, so this is how we can convert our Ansible adapt command into a Ansible module, sorry, Ansible playbook. But we have already created a user called John, but let it be. We'll see what will happen when we execute this Ansible playbook. Okay, I'm just opening this Ansible playbook, just have a look. So three minuses, and this indentation starts here at host all, and these three belongs to the same indentation. You can see the uh, spaces where it starts everything, and this one belongs to the under tasks. So I need to either start from the T or I can go little bit inside also, not a problem. Okay, now I want to execute this Ansible playbook. I want to execute this Ansible playbook. Whenever we are executing Ansible playbook, we need to give command as a Ansible playbook. It is not just Ansible. We should give Ansible playbook followed by your playbook name. Followed by your playbook name. This is how we can execute our Ansible command. Let's execute and we'll see what will happen. Okay, it is connected to the only one server. Why? Okay, see here, I'm creating my Ansible playbook in my home directory. So whenever I'm executing this user, it is taking this particular one. Let me check my ansible.cfg file. Do I have ansible.cfg in my local system? Oh, okay, that's the reason. See here, in my home directory, I have ansible.cfg, so it has taken this as a Ansible configuration. We have a ansible.cfg file in the user home directory. Under that file, we have specified our inventory. That's the reason it is taking this as a inventory file. So what I can do, I can change it to the, I will update this inventory file to equal to the my default inventory file. So what is the default inventory file content? So just copying cp to my inventory file. That's it. Now let's execute again our Ansible playbook or Ansible all minus minus list hosts. Okay, so now it could able to display, and let's execute our Ansible playbook again. So the command is Ansible playbook create user. Now you can see here it is executing on two systems. Okay, let's understand the output. So first thing is play all. It means that I'm executing this Ansible playbook on all the systems. All nothing but whatever you have given in the your Ansible playbook, where we have given all. Okay, so hosts equal to all we have given, right? So that it is taking. Next, tasks gathering facts. We'll discuss about this one little later, but what it is doing, it is trying to connect to the systems, and it's fine. Next, it could not able to connect to the other system. Next, task. So what is the task we are executing? You can see here, task called user we are executing, and it's okay. Okay means there is nothing to change. See here, output is green color. Whenever it comes to the green color, there is nothing to change. It is already there. That is the meaning of this green color. Okay, and play recap. Once everything is completed, it is going to give the result what will happen. So on this server, okay, 0, nothing but I didn't do anything. Changed also 0, nothing to change over here. Sorry, nothing to change over here. Unreachable, yes, I could not able to reach to this system. Remaining all are just zeros. Similar way, if you see here, okay, nothing but it is already fine in two cases. Okay, and changed 0, remaining all are 0. Same thing for this system. So it executed two tasks on the remote system and both looks fine. Nothing but nothing to change in the both the cases. That is the meaning of this one. Okay, okay. So all right, now what we are going to do is we are going to add little more changes to our Ansible playbook. Why? Because whenever we get output, we don't have appropriate information what exactly this playbook is doing. Okay, here user, which user is it creating? Or here just play means all it is giving. So we can give appropriate, what I can say, name or appropriate output while executing our Ansible playbook. For that one, vi create user. So now what do? We are going to give some comment kind of thing. Comment nothing but what this Ansible playbook is doing. So usually to give the comment kind of thing, we are going to use a name parameter in Ansible. Name parameter in Ansible. So let's go here. So first thing, I'm going to give the what this playbook is doing. What this playbook is doing. So minus name colon creating user. Okay, so I'm saying that this playbook is creating user, and name, hosts, become true, tasks all belongs to the same items. Now can somebody tell me, do we need this minus or not?
No.
No.
Yes, we don't need this minus. Why? Because these all are belongs to the same indentation and we have already given over here, so we no need to specify over here. Next, come to the tasks. Tasks also we can add name. Okay, so instead of here, what I'm going to do, minus name. Okay, I don't want to here. You can start from here also, there is no problem. How many spaces you want to give, you can give. Here also you can start, but it looks like a appropriate way if I start over here. So creating user John. Okay, I'm just giving appropriate name, and you can see here. Here, of course, we don't need minus. As I said, we don't need minus, and we are not creating a new task. We are just giving the for existing task one more attribute. In those cases, these two belongs to the same indentation because these two belongs to the same task only. That's the reason even user should start with the n, where n started. In the same place, even user should start. Okay, that's it. I have updated with the appropriate comments, I can say, so that while executing our Ansible playbook, it displays these comments rather than earlier we were just got the all or module user. Okay, now let's execute this playbook by saving it. So we just saved this file, and if I display this file, you can see here we have given the name creating user, hosts all, become true, task. Under task we are giving the name. Right, clear the screen. Let's execute again our Ansible playbook command. Okay, see here, earlier while executing this play we could see that all, but this time whatever name field we have given, it is displaying over here. And here tasks, it was giving only user. Now it is saying that creating user John. So this is how we can modify our output to a readable language, I mean to say understandable way, by using the name field. Next thing is, okay, how many tasks we are executing through this playbook? Can somebody tell me? How many tasks we are executing at this moment?
One.
2.
Yes. Okay, one is correct. So far we are executing only one. But how it is going to do the two? You can see here, it is saying that task. Okay, so we are mentioning only one task, but why it is creating two tasks? If you see this task, it is saying that gathering facts. Okay, gathering facts, nothing but by default, even though you don't specify anything, Ansible playbook will run one extra task that we call it as a gathering facts. This gathering facts is equal to a command called Ansible all, sorry, Ansible all minus m setup. If you do remember, we have executed setup command. Okay, so this setup is equal to the gathering facts in Ansible playbook. This setup is equal to the gathering facts in our playbook. So even though we don't execute a setup module, it is going to take by default, and this setup module is displayed it as a gathering facts. So why it gathers the facts? The question is, So whenever we execute Ansible Playbook, it is going to gather all the system information because it thinks that it may be useful later in the playbook. It may be useful later in the playbook. That's the reason it is going to gather facts. If it is really necessary for you to gather facts, you can just leave like this. If it is not necessary, you can skip this task. You can skip this task. Why do we need to skip this task? Assume that you are executing on 100 systems a particular task. It has to gather all the systems information before executing that playbook. It unnecessarily creates the delay while executing your Ansible playbook, and also the additional network traffic, because gather facts collect the lot of information from your client system. If you are not using that one, it is not necessary in your playbook, right? So then you can disable this gather facts in your Ansible playbook. Let's modify our Ansible playbook little bit. So vi creating user, and gather facts also comes under to the same header indentation. So wo I have given. Next, gather underscore facts. Okay, this is how we can give entry. Okay, gather facts. Sorry, no. So gather facts, no, if you do, it is not going to gather facts of your system. So this time, let's execute our Ansible playbook. And you can see here, this time there is no task called gather facts. And if you see only one task, it is executing. It is executing only one task. So gather facts, when do we use? Whenever it is necessary for you to use that in your next task or further tasks, then you need to enable gather facts. Otherwise, we don't need. Yes, in going forward, we are going to use gather facts. We'll see that one when we are going to use it. So for any questions? So this is how we can create a user in a playbook. Okay, now we'll modify a little bit. Okay, I'm bringing it into a appropriate structure, how we create a playbook in real world. Okay, so one last change to do this one to make it as a good, looks like a good playbook. That is, so we have given a user, and you can see here name is equal to John. Usually we rarely use equal to option in a playbook. Rather than that one, what we can do, user is a module, right? Under user module, again we can give just name is equal to John. Okay, so this is how we can use, because name is equal to again sub item in user, because in user there are a lot of items. If you see user module, right? So these parameters we can call it as a what I can say, items in the user module. Whenever we are using these what I can say, whenever we are using these items, we need to give the uh, sorry, yep, we need to give name is equal to John. Okay, name colon John. So something like this we need to specify. If you see the syntax of this user, you just see here. So we have given the name, under name, user module. So these two belongs to the same item. And here you may ask that why don't we specify minus? Okay, but under module, whatever is there, for those we don't specify minus. I mean to say, this is module, right? We are using module. For module items, there won't be minus. There won't be minus. That is how the syntax works. Don't say that, okay, we will use minus again over here. Okay, in this case it is exceptional, we should not use minus over here. So here you can see here, but two spaces we should give, because it is under this one, right? So two or three, whatever spaces you want to give, you can give, but it should not start with the where you started. Okay, or else where module started, you should not start in the same structure. So let's save this file and we'll execute our Ansible playbook again. Okay, so it's executed successfully. Now we'll do what kind of mistakes we usually tempted to do. Okay, so usually what kind of mistakes we do, sometimes we may start our this module module attribute under your username itself. Now what will happen, we'll see. Ansible Playbook, you can see here it is giving fatal error and discovered so and so so and so. Okay, and what is other mistakes we do? The indentation also. Okay, we haven't given indentation, right? Indentation over here, and sometimes this will starts from here. Okay, by mistake we may do this one. So what happens whenever we do this one? You can see here it is throwing error. So these kind of errors we do. If you see the syntax, it is quite simple. You need to give the appropriate spaces. If you could not able to do the appropriate spaces, it is throwing an error. And if you are still not confident that whether this playbook is written correctly or not, okay, then what we can do is we have a one more option called Ansible Playbook minus minus check. Okay, so whenever you use minus minus check option, it is not going to execute your Ansible Playbook really. Okay, so let's execute it. You can see here it is saying that what does it do, but it won't do the real execution of your playbook. Once you get execute this one, if it is working fine, then you can execute without minus minus check option. So let's change our user John to some other user and we'll try this option. So I'm creating a user called Sonia, and here also. Okay, so I have changed it, and clear the screen, and I want to execute my playbook with check option. Okay, before executing, let's go and see whether this user is there or not on the client systems. So there is no user called Sonia, even over here also. Okay, there is no user. Let's execute with the check option and we'll see what will happen. You can see here changed. This time it is not okay, it is changed. Why? Because this particular user is not exist on the client systems. Of course it is going to change, and here also only okay one and changed one. Okay, because we are changing and changing is successful. That is the reason it is saying that okay. And if I go actually and check my system, still you cannot see this user because we have executed this playbook as a with the check option. So if you want to execute it actually, we need to try with minus minus check so that the user will create over here as well as over here. Okay, so let's try now. So if it is blue color, sorry, yellow color, it means that it is creating user. A red color, nothing but it's failing. Now if I execute again, you can see here user called Sonia is there. Similar way, a user called Sonia is there. Right? So this is how we can create our Ansible playbook. So now let's write another Ansible playbook to create, to install packages. Let's write another Ansible playbook to install packages. So clear the screen. I'm going to create a new playbook, that is VA install package.yml. Okay, install package.yml. So let's write quickly minus minus minus. And if you are not convenient or if you want to write it outside, maybe you can use the Sublime text editor. So this is Sublime text editor. So it starts with the three minuses. Next, minus name, installing packages. So Sublime text I'm using. Next, hosts, I'm going to give all, and become, because we are doing installation, right? Become true, and gather facts, I'm giving no. Next thing, tasks. So here we need to provide tasks. First task I'm giving name is equal to installing packages. Okay, so next our module name is yum, right? So yum starts with under name, then we are giving name. So in yum module we should provide the name. So name could be something like which name do we use? Okay, we'll install wget command. Okay, I don't know whether wget is there or not. Let me check. It's there. Okay, in one system it is there, in another system it is not there. Okay, so the advantage of Ansible is if it is already installed, it doesn't do anything. If it is not installed, then it is going to install. Okay, so in this case it should change only one system, so let it be. So wget. Okay, so we are saying it that install the package called wget, and just copy this one and we'll go to our Ansible system and paste it over here. I have given my Ansible playbook. Now let's save this one and you can see the syntax. So these all are under same indentation, and the next name started over here, and I hope it should work. It should not throw any error. Only the here is you can give any number of spaces. Only thing is it should be in the same alignment. Okay, now Ansible playbook install packages minus minus check I'm doing. I don't want to execute it actually. Okay, you can see here it looks like on one system it is fine, another system I could not able to reachable, and another system I'm able to change it. So here we are changing it. This system looks fine. Okay, now let's execute this actually without check. I'm executing. All right, so it's installed on the target system. Of course here wget is already there, nothing to do. So wget is a command which can download packages into our system, right? So now here you can see here it has installed on RHEL server as well. So this is how we can create a package to install a wget. Now let's modify this one. So for what we are doing is we are executing only one task. I want to execute one more task. I want to execute one more task. So let's change this one to, okay, HTTPD. So I am installing a service called HTTPD. I am installing a service called HTTPD yum module. So whenever you do the what I can say HTTPD, then we need to provide the state as well. Okay, so let's go and check the syntax of your yum module. Module yum. Okay, if you go, I want to install HTTPD, right? Okay, so this is yum module and parameters. If you see here, name parameter. So you can see the name parameter, name, a package name or package specifier with the version, name minus 1.0 if you want to specify the version. And we also need to give the state as well. Okay, even for the wget command also it is better to use the state. Yes, you can see here example. This is what we want to do: install the latest version of Apache. That is what we are doing. So yum module name is equal to httpd state latest. So what version do you want to install? That you can specify here over here, state latest or installed, uh, like that. There are various options. If you go to the state module, state, you can see here state, you can do the present or latest. Okay, present nothing but install the current sorry, keep this version available, sorry, keep these packages are available, and install the latest version packages. Like that we have various options. If I go up, state, yep, state, you can see here these are the choices we have. that is absent, nothing but if you give absent, it is going to remove it. Installed, nothing but just it makes make sure that it's installed. Latest version, present, removed. Okay, removed and absent is going to remove the packages. But in our case, we are installing it, right? So let's install it. So just you need to give name and state. I can give any of these. Okay, there is no variation. You can use any of these options, installed, latest or present. Okay, any of these you can use. So state, usually I prefer to use installed. Okay, even you can do the present as well. Okay, so this is the what I can say one task which we have done to create what I can say, sorry, to install HTTPD. Now I would like to introduce one more task in the same playbook. Why? Because once HTTPD service is installed, we need to start the service. We need to start the service. So that is how we do, right? Once we have installed, we need to start the service. So to start the service, again, we need to use one more task. To start the service, we need to use one more task. Whenever we are starting one more task, here if you see, this task is started from here, right? So this task is started from here. Whenever we are writing one more task, that task also should start from the same alignment. Okay, from here. And whenever we do the new task, again we should provide the minus name what your new task is doing. So let me give one more space, and this task starting HTTPD services. Okay, so I'm just renaming the installing HTTPD and here starting HTTPD services. And to start the services, we are going to use a module called service module. If you don't know what is the module to start the service, so Ansible module to start service. If you give this one, you can see here manage services. There is a module called service. Okay, so here we have options. So name is required, followed by the state. State nothing but do you want to start the service or stop the service, reload the service. All this you can specify. Okay, here started we need to give. It's like a past tense we should give. Even here also if you see it is installed, not just like install. Please remember that. Similar way, it is not start to start the service. It is started. So next thing is we are using a module called service. Under service, we should provide a name that is HTTPD and state started. Okay, so this is how we can give. Now, if you see here, we have two tasks. One task is first installing the service. Another task is it is starting the service. I cannot change this. What I can say, I cannot run this task first and I cannot run this task as a second. Why? Because Ansible playbook execute in the sequential format. That is what we have discussed in initial class, right? So it is going to execute in a sequential uh, format. So first it is going to install the packages, then only start the service. Then only start the service. Now let's copy this playbook. And yeah, one more thing I would like to tell you that here service module and M module should starts with the same alignment. All your tasks should be the same alignment. And this name, you can see here same alignment. So that is how you need to write. If I copy this one onto our system, you can clearly understand. So I'm not disturbing the existing file. So I am creating new file called install httpd dot yml. Okay, so here I'm just copying our content, and if you see the alignment, these two started at the same alignment and these two are the same alignment. Okay, next these are at same alignment. So that is how it should be, otherwise it throws an error. All tasks should starts with the at the same level. And I'm giving two spaces over here. Maybe it can be more spaces also, there is no issue. Okay, if I am giving like this 4 spaces, you must give here also 4 spaces. Okay, the number of spaces it doesn't consider. At least it should have at least one space, but more spaces, that would be fine. There is no issue. But I would like to give it as a proper understandable syntax. That's why I'm doing this one. Even I don't to use this one over here. This one I would like to start from the under tasks itself. Here also it should start under task, and this M also should come under name. This one two spaces, this one two spaces. So this is what appropriate syntax I use. Okay, it looks something better, and I will give one more space over here so that we can divide the header section and the task section as a separate one, so that it looks like, okay, area is tasks. So all the activities comes under to only tasks. Whatever code you write, everything should come under to the task. This one just headers doesn't have any additional value, just you give the header colon some value, that's it, until it comes to the variable. So now I hope it looks good. Clear the screen and install httpd, right? So far if I go and check whether httpd is installed or not, yum list installed. Okay, so this command is going to tell you what and all packages are installed in your system. Okay, if I give enter, there are hell lot of packages, so all it is going to display. Among this I want to just grep httpd is installed or not. Okay, there is no httpd, and if I do the same thing, okay, there is no httpd. Once we execute this package playbook, it should install httpd. And also if I check for service httpd status, okay, there is no service called httpd at all. Once it is installed, you are going to see the httpd, and also it should be in the running state. Why? Because through the Ansible playbook we are running it. Okay, so state is started, we are doing. Let's execute it. Sorry, Ansible playbook install httpd minus minus check. It is always best practice to use minus minus check option. Why? Because you don't know where you have done the mistake, so it's better to validate it before executing. You can see here it is changing, and it is also changing, and first task is installing httpd, second task is starting httpd service. So let's execute it now. Okay, still I'm just going to show you, still it is not installed. Why? Because we just tested it out. Here also it is not yet installed, we just tested it out. Let's install now. All right, so installation is successful. Now let's check for now. You can see here httpd packages has been installed, and if I see the service is active. Why? Because we have started. If you just install and leave it, it won't be started. We should start the service as well, right? So if I see the packages over here, yes, there are packages, and service, it's running, and I can still access this application from the browser. Okay, so now if I access this application, by default httpd runs on port number 80, so nothing to add. Just if I give this one, it displays the default httpd page. I think I need to open this port number on security group level, so let's quickly open the port number in the security group level, that is port number 80, because httpd runs on port number 80. DevOps SG, right? This is the one we are using. Inbound, if you see, there is no port number 8080 enabled. Let's edit and add port number 8080. Add a rule. Sorry, 80, not 8080. Or else we can just check for HTTP over here. You can see here, if I check HTTP, 80 is the port number, and I would like to access it from anywhere. Save rules, and now you can see here, it is displaying the default HTTPD page even for Tomcat server as well. So if I give the Tomcat server IP address in the browser, you can see that this is the which is running on Tomcat server and this is on RHL server. Okay, so this is how we can install and start services by using Ansible Playbook. Okay, so like this we can add what I can say, any kind of ADA commands to our Ansible Playbook. Even we have seen what I can say now, move and copy we haven't done, right? Okay, let's add one more module. Okay, so before adding one more module, we should understand how the HTTPD works. Okay, it is quite simple application. Once you have installed, uh, whenever you install it, what does it do? It is going to create a var www html. Okay, it is going to create this directory. It is going to create a this directory, and in this directory, if you have any index.html file, it is going to pick up from the browser. It is going to pick up from the browser. If you don't have index.html file over here, it is going to display the this default page. So just for test, I'm going to create vi index.html. Here I'm just giving h1 nothing but header, welcome to DevOps. Okay, I'm just giving h1. Oh, okay, I'm trying it as a user. So vi index.html. So h1, welcome to DevOps. Okay, I'm just writing some content, and this is Tomcat server, right? If I access Tomcat server from the browser, now if I refresh it, you can see here, welcome to DevOps, because we have created a test page over here. So it is accessing. Assume that you are installing on around 10 to 15 systems and going and creating a index.html page over here doesn't make sense, right? Then what we can do, we can update our Ansible playbook to copy a file from our Ansible system to in this location, our Ansible system to in this location. Then what we can do, I'm going to create a file only once in the Ansible system, and I will tell to my Ansible playbook that, okay, take this Ansible index.html and copy into all the target systems. So what I'm doing now, on my Ansible playbook, I'm going to create a index.html page. Okay, index.html. I'm just giving h1, welcome to Veloxy. Okay, just I am giving welcome to Veloxy Technologies. Okay, now what we want to do, I want to copy this file into all the target systems. Then we can use a module called copy. Okay, if you don't know, just search for the Ansible module to copy a file. Okay, so there is a module called copy. Okay, if you scroll down the parameters, you can see. Okay, just go through with these parameters. Destination. Okay, destination is required, nothing but where do you want to copy your file. You can see here remote absolute path where the file should be copied. Okay, and we should also have the source, nothing but src. Src nothing but where your file is located, local path of a file to copy to the remote server. Okay, just go through with this one, and if you are not much clear, you have options over here. Okay, copy module, src, source file in Ansible server, in which location is it is there, and the destination and remote directory, where do you want me to copy. These three all like owner we can specify, group we can specify, mode nothing but what are the permissions you want to do. Okay, all this we can do with the copy module, but we are just concentrating only these two. So I know where is my source file is there, it is under my home directory, and the destination also where www.html. So I just need to add a module called copy module, right? So copy module, it should starts from here because it is again new module. And please remember that name is not a mandatory field. Okay, it is just to make sure that our output comes in the necessary format. If you are not specifying name, then you can directly specify module. But while specifying module, you should have the minus over here. Why? Because this is new task, right? So rather than using name, I'm just giving the module itself. Okay, we can try this. So copy. So src. So where is my mod file is there? If I go here, I have created, right? Index.html. I can give the full path. I can directly give the index.html, but if I copy this playbook into some other location, it doesn't work. That's the reason. Just will give the full path of this one slash index.html. Okay. So index.html and dest, nothing but where do you want to copy. So destination, it looks for the path in the where www html in the remote directory. Okay, this is directory, right? So whenever you specify destination as a directory, this file just copied into the destination directory. Even you can give slash index.html also. Okay, but it is not recommended. Just give the directory and leave it. So this is the module, right? So I'm just copying this module. I don't want to copy entire stuff, and here I haven't specified name. So whenever whenever it is running, it just give the copy. It doesn't give the detailed information like this. Okay, just copy this one into our Ansible playbook. So let me edit VI install HTTPD. So here we are adding one more task. All right, so let me do the alignment, otherwise it won't work. It throws error. So yes, that is fine. And src and dest. All right, so I'm copying a file to the target system as well. Now let's execute this Ansible playbook. Minus check. This time already two tasks are already executed, so you can see here these two are at green color. I don't want to change anything, only this one is going to copy, and here we haven't specified the name parameter. That's the reason it just displayed the module name. Now let's execute our playbook. And if I access it from the browser, it should give the welcome to Veloxy Technologies rather than here welcome to DevOps. Okay, playbook is successful. Let me reload it. You can see here also it should give the same thing. All right, so this is how we can keep on adding our modules to our Ansible playbook. Sorry. Yep. All right, so that's all for today's session. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask me.
Yeah, Shankar, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So, Shankar, in this playbook, can you please open this playbook?
I have opened it, right? Do you want me to
Yeah.
edit it?
No. I'm just asking, like, can we do two installations simultaneously, like you're installing under yum HTTPD? So, can we do like HTTPD, comma, wget, or something like that?
Yes, we can do that one. We are going to discuss in later classes how to install multiple packages with a single task.
Okay.
All right, that's all for today. If you don't have any questions, we'll meet again on Wednesday.